Right. Okay. All right, so then I will call to order the City of Temple City and Temple City Unified School District Standing Committee meeting, January 23rd, 2025, to order. Who's going to take roll call? I guess, well, it's getting easy for the city to do. Did you want to take roll call for the school district, or
Sure.
you want me to, or it's up to you? All right, go ahead.
Member Smith,
I'm here.
Member Giorgino,
Here.
Good.
Superintendent Arcuna,
Here.
Connie will be late.
We'll do that. Okay, no problem.
Mayor Chavez?
Yes.
Fred?
Oh, yes. I know. I'm here. I'm here. And we, of course, we have Adam, and we have Scott, and we have Jose here.
And Councilmember Mann is absent from the meeting.
Yeah, and they make a motion that we excuse him for good cause. So if there's no objection, that'll be the order. Okay. We will now move on to the approval of minutes of October 24th, 2024. That seems so long ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, lots happened since
A lot has
then.
happened since then, yes. Any discussion on that, or if not, we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. You want to second that? Or?
I
Or you
wasn't
weren't
here, so I'm
I'll
gonna have to
second.
abstain.
Okay, no problem. So I'll second. Any objection? So that will be the order, approval of the minutes. All right, we'll now move on to discussion items, city and school district updates. Okay, let's see. We're going to start off with safe routes to schools. Who's going to do that?
Mayor
Are we
Chavez, I have
doing
a
that?
quick update
Oh,
on
okay,
that one.
all right.
So, the city's working on some federal funding. It's through a different program, but similar to Safe Routes to School. It's called HSIP. We have a grant application out for that, but it's pending. But similar to Safe Routes, it would be for like striping and crosswalks and things of that nature. So as soon as we get the status of that grant application, we can provide the Standing Committee with more information.
Okay, great. That's good news.
Now, that's the same one that was referred to in the minutes.
The previous.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not a different one.
Different from Safe Routes.
Yeah, but not
HSIP.
the one, because I think it was brought up.
Brian
a
had
lot,
mentioned it at
yeah.
the last meeting.
Okay.
So can I add something
Of course,
to that?
of course,
You know,
yeah, please.
we've talked about it previously, and I know we had talked about like when we have issues to have principals bring it up or whatever the case may be. And I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to share that or who to share with. I received an email from our principal, Miss Lee,
Okay.
over at the high school,
Uh-huh.
and she received something from a parent who was just kind of documenting what happens on a daily basis with
Mhm.
people trying to go around, drop off traffic.
Now, is this at the high school?
This is at the high school.
Okay, so
There's a
line.
bigger picture on the other side.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what
Oh,
ends
nice.
up happening is they block traffic from people trying to turn onto the street, and then there's traffic, nobody can go the other way.
Is
it's
this
just-
in the morning or afternoon
This
or
is in
both?
the morning.
Oh, okay, morning.
Yeah, and so people are double parking, like it's an unsafe situation for
Mhm.
kids. And I don't know, one of the things we had talked about too, and maybe Jose, you have an update on this, is that one parking spot, whether or not we could change that to be reflective of all the other spots on the
Right,
street.
for the
on
loading
Logan.
zone there.
Yeah.
It's still being worked through with our traffic engineer, so I haven't gotten an update on their report from that. They were said to have gone out to do the study on that, but I'll get on them to see
Okay.
where that stands.
Yeah, I would suggest that these types of things certainly can be brought to the attention of Brian,
Okay.
and then he'll farm it out from there, do who he thinks can take care of it or look through it. Obviously, I think it's a situation where it's going to be multiple entities that are going to have to do that, not only the city, but maybe we get some help from the sheriff in the morning.
Exactly.
My suggestion would be maybe we can get them to at least go by there we know the hours, right?
Yeah.
When it's gonna happen.
Yep.
And maybe giving a few tickets out is the only way you're gonna learn things.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I
Yep.
find that to be true. So, okay, well, let's, I'll talk to Brian about that, and then if you want to, can you send this to
Yeah,
Brian?
yeah, I
Do you
can
want me to
send-
keep this, or?
You can keep it. I'll
Okay.
send him a.
Yeah, if you can, and then we'll get started, then I'm sure he'll work with Jose, and then we'll speak to our dedicated deputies and see
Yeah.
what we can do about that. Yes.
You know, if I can, kind of jump in here,
Mhm.
I walk my dog pretty much every morning.
I see you down Temple City Boulevard when I'm late for
And
work.
I go around the high school, I go past Oak Avenue, and I've seen a terribly way of parents dropping off their kids.
Mm.
And not just the parents dropping off their kids, but I've seen the motorized bicycles
Mm.
driving down the sidewalks.
Yeah, that's the next thing, is e-bikes. Is that what you're talking about, the e-bikes? Or-
Yeah, and
Or the scooters or whatever?
In a specific situation that happened to me Tuesday morning, going southbound on Oak Avenue by Hardendale,
Mhm.
and I saw 3 kids on a motorized bicycle, 3 kids on one bicycle.
3 kids on one bike.
Bicycle.
Yeah.
And the first one was standing on, I think, the front wheel or something, but they blew through the stop sign, and then they made a quick left turn, headed northbound on Oak Avenue, and they were gonna get hit, or they were gonna hit a car, so they swerved into the southbound lane, which is where I was, and it's not, unfortunately, it's not.
Were these high school kids or the adult?
High school kids, high school
Okay.
kids. But even as on Lemon Avenue, I walk by I watch parents of kids cross the lane divider and go onto the wrong side of the street.
Mhm.
They go into the exit to the parking lot there on Lemon, and it's I'm really concerned that we
Well, at some
have-
point, there's gonna be a bad accident, somebody's gonna get very
It's
injured.
gotta happen.
Or killed, and
Yeah.
that's not a good way of taking care of those things. I'm sure we've talked about this before. I guess just sending out notifications and communications to parents isn't really working.
And we
at this
do.
point. I know you do.
I think
yeah.
the next step is, and I would love to see it, is if our sheriffs would be willing to come and, we could do assemblies or whatever and just talk to the
Okay.
kids about some of the safety pieces. I mean, that's
Mhm.
another step. I don't know if it's brought up at all at the,
At the neighborhood watch.
Watch.
It is not, and that was another thing I was gonna suggest, maybe that might be some topic that we could at least broach on that at the future neighborhood watches. I think our first one is going to be, we had to postpone it because of the windstorm, but usually they're at a school.
Yeah.
Either at the high school, I think the first one's at Emperor, and we do get parents there, so yeah, it would be a good way, I think. Maybe we can add something to the neighborhood watch, that's a good idea.
And I think too, I know the high school is doing a parent education series.
Mhm.
And we could easily host the sheriffs as part of that too, if they wanted to come and talk.
Would that be in the evening?
Yeah, it's in the
Okay,
evenings.
yeah.
And so I can get dates
Okay.
from the high school and we can coordinate if they're available for one of the dates. Yeah, I think it's really.
Yeah, I'm sure between the 3 of them, we can
It's
get
just an
somebody out there.
education.
No, it's a good idea.
So,
I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, partly education, getting the word out, but then you're always going to have some people that just don't pay attention, and I think we're going to have to get a little bit heavier-handed on this and maybe give out a few tickets. I don't want to do that. I don't like to do that because everybody feels like you're just there sitting there waiting to give tickets out. Well, yeah, because we don't want anybody to get killed. So,
Tom,
yes.
I've been walking my dog at the high school for years,
Mhm.
around there, literally.
Mhm.
And I can tell you that I've hardly ever seen sheriffs in the area.
Mhm.
I see all sorts of bad driving, bad.
You mean in the
walking.
morning or in the evening or?
In the morning,
Yeah.
my
All
time
right,
is in the
well,
morning.
that's something we need to look at and see if we can get some more motors over there and make it a point to.
It seemed like.
And then also, do you think, we have the decoy park.
That on the Garibaldi, that was.
Have we ever parked it at the high school maybe? Maybe put it right
We
there.
have
where-
not.
But it doesn't do any good even
Well,
on Garibaldi.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't hurt. I mean, it's free, so, maybe we could at least try that or do that a few times. If we can't get the manpower out there, at least it's the next step, so.
I wonder if we can't get like ASB involved somehow, or,
No, that's for you guys to determine.
It is, I mean,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I'm gonna be.
You know, what I'll do too is, I've got a youth committee meeting tonight. I'll ask them their feelings about that and maybe something that they want to look at, because right now, our theme for this year was public safety. And not necessarily around the schools, but in general, but maybe they have some ideas, they're all students at the high school.
Mhm.
So maybe they've seen some things, or maybe have some suggestions on how we can take care of some of those problems. So,
Is there, and I don't know if it would even work, but are the sheriffs doing an Explorer program or no?
I don't know that, are you aware of
They do
it?
have an Explorer program, but it's, the deputy that manages that, I believe, is out of Rosemead. So it's through Temple Station, but the deputy that handles it is out of Rosemead, and where exactly they meet, I don't know. But they do have one.
It's not as big a program as it used to be.
The kid that got the scholarship,
Yeah, Oliver.
No. What's his name?
I know.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
ROTC
yeah.
scholarship, he's an explorer at
Hmm.
Temple Station.
Last, I think at the beginning of,
Channing?
last year at the beginning of my term as mayor, I think do you remember I was invited to an Explorer thing at Live Oak Park? Do you remember they had an event on a Saturday morning at Live Oak Park, and it was for the Explorer program. They didn't have a whole lot of members, if I remember correctly. I think the program's down. And I'll be honest with you, as part of our California JPIA, which is our risk management, they don't like Explorer programs for certain reasons that they've had troubles with over the years.
It's too bad.
They've cost a lot of money, unfortunately, and it's too bad. But yeah, I don't think those programs are as vibrant as they used to be, but it's something we can look into. Certainly.
Well, like when you go to Anaheim or whatever, like you see that, like just for events,
Mhm.
they handle parking, they handle traffic control, and you know,
Right.
because you don't have enough
Right.
officers to do it.
Well, and even events in the park, if you remember, I know all of you, when we come to different events at the park, remember we used to have some of those, I don't know if they call them Explorers or the cadet program or whatever, and they used to be in uniform.
Yeah,
You don't see too many of that
Explorers.
anymore either, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can talk to our deputies about that and see what the status of that is. And if you want to make a note to maybe follow up on that, that'd be great.
I won't be able to make it to the next sheriff's briefing.
Oh,
So
that's
if
next
you
week.
wanna bring it up.
Yeah, we definitely, we'll put it on there, so, okay.
And
Good.
if they do have a program, maybe that's something we should be passing the information on to our students.
Maybe they're
We just
interested in
had-
joining.
Yeah, we just had one student that got a huge ROTC scholarship
Nice.
to Duke, wasn't it Duke or?
Well, it was to any of his.
Yeah,
choice,
but he
right
chose
now it's
Duke,
Duke.
He wants
yeah.
to-
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, it's a good opportunity for the students, but maybe they don't know about it.
Okay. All right, perfect. And, let me just write a couple notes to myself. Okay, e-bikes, a kind of related issue, I guess. We still have a problem, it sounds like we are.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
And I think, if I recall correctly, when we talked about this in October, we were gonna, one of the things that we were gonna talk about is maybe talk at a neighborhood watch and maybe even have a separate, like you said, a separate assembly or something like that. For some reason, I haven't seen too many of them myself, but I'm sure there's still a lot of them around, as you
They
said.
are.
yeah. I just saw
Do they
one walking
park
over
them
here.
in the bike rack at the school? Is that where
Yeah,
they
so,
park them, or-
and I think that was one of the things we were talking about previously is, because it's, remember the sheriffs were talking about how there's different, like, levels of
Mhm.
these e-bikes or
Mhm,
whatever,
mhm.
and what are some of the, requirements based off of engine size and
Right,
everything
right.
else, or motor size. And so they said it was pretty difficult to comprehend, but I don't know if they have a cheat sheet on it. Like, maybe it's something that I can give to
You
my
mean as far as what the rules of the
administrators.
road are, you mean?
Well, like what
To
to look
identify the
for,
bikes.
like
Mhm.
if it's really just based off of, the fat tires, then I can have my administrators looking at that, and then they can make phone calls to parents saying, hey, this particular bike is illegal for your child to ride without a license or whatever. But I don't have that, and I don't know if they have that.
If I remember correctly, when we were talking about that with him, it was very, not complex, but very vague kind of rules that are really out there for them. They have difficulty enforcing or how to enforce them as well.
Yeah, that's what they should.
Maybe we'll get an
But
update on
they
that.
could enforce no helmets. I rarely
Yeah.
see kids with helmets
Yeah.
on. They can enforce riding more than one on a bike,
Oh, yeah.
which I see a lot too.
But then they have
So
to see
there's-
them though, they have to
Yeah.
be there, obviously.
Oh, they don't hide, I mean.
No, but I mean, they have to be there at the time. to
Yeah, yeah.
Pull them
but
over or
I
give them a ticket.
don't know, I see them all the time.
Yeah, all right.
So,
All right, maybe we can deputize.
yeah. I used to try to get them to do that in Duarte, but they would never give me a ticket book, yeah.
That could get interesting. Okay. All right, so we'll follow up on that again and make sure that you get
Yeah,
some.
even if they just have, even if they know what to look for, you
Yeah.
know, just.
Yeah, maybe, I think we talked about that, maybe it's just filling a hole somewhere, but we'll get it, see if they can give us some information. Okay, impacts of the Eaton Fire and wind event. Scott, you gonna take the lead on this?
Actually,
one?
I was going to do the presentation.
Oh, you're gonna do the presentation that we had?
Yeah, we have
Oh, okay,
a
perfect.
little bit of a condensed presentation for
Okay,
the
perfect, good.
Senate committee,
Okay,
so.
so we had, just let me set the table a little bit. So last week we had a special meeting to declare a state of emergency for various reasons. One, to allow our EOC to remain open, and also for any possible funding down the road. And we were presented with this presentation that staff put together that basically informed the council of what had been going on and what had been done and what are we going to be looking for in the future. So I'm glad you guys were protected there. So go ahead. Thank you.
Well, so everybody, as you know, this was probably our most significant wind event since our last one in 2011. So.
By the way, I was
Who was
mayor
mayor
then
then?
also.
Yeah.
And yes, I was mayor when COVID hit too. I told Jerry, we almost made it through the year, didn't we? Only 2 months to go.
You're the disaster mayor.
Yeah. Although I did get a nice, email from Matt Byers saying, Tom, I know you're called the disaster mayor, but I would rather have no one other than you as mayor when we have a disaster. So that was nice. All right, go ahead.
So we have a few photos of just all the different tree loss that we had throughout the city. So it started in the evening of January 7th into the early morning hours of the 8th. The fire was, the Eaton fire was clearly visible.
What street are we looking up right there?
So,
Is that Tuxley Boulevard? Or
The
no?
one at the top is Encinita.
Oh, Encinitas. Okay. that's what it is,
Encinita. This was a large tree drop that was actually a private tree, but this was our one injury-related fall. So a child was neighbor next door, it fell on top of them. As far as we know, though, I think it was minimal.
Minimal
if any,
injuries.
injury.
I mean, he was transported for further evaluation in 17. And so I
Was he one of our students?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, so
Was
these
he
are
okay?
just,
Is he already-
Yes.
you don't know.
yeah. Again, just more impacts. We had various down power lines. We were out on site the same evening, clearing roads, clearing driveways, and really trying to make sure the city was accessible and open as possible. Again, more additional tree falls, numerous limb falls. This tree was the one adjacent to the new Ace Hardware on Oak. So this was one of those very large mature ficus
Yeah.
trees that
Saw
came
that.
down. We basically had the majority of the city addressed within a couple of days in terms of clearing up streets, making sure we had passable access, and that individual residents had the ability to exit out of their properties by clearing driveways. We did have some property damage. I believe we had 3 homes.
Three structures. were
Three
inspected,
structures.
Yeah. One was red tagged. That was just a garage, though. The other 2 were just kind of more cosmetic damage of the structure, not structural damage. We had branches that kind of poked through a roof or something like that.
One on,
Very fortunate.
on Agnes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agnes was one
That's
of them,
such a
yeah.
cute house too.
Yeah.
The lower left-hand photo is just a portion of the debris. We were working hand in hand with Athens to get additional support for removal. There's just so much debris and material that needed to be moved from the wind event. So overall, the city received 274 requests for service. As of today, of those 274, we've closed out all but 4 of them. So the city's done a really great job, again, of addressing all those different areas. Now, there are some that we have to come back to. Some of the tree falls, there's stumps that need to be ground and removed. Some of them have sidewalk impacts that we'll need to come back to and clear out. But for the actual tree incidents, we've cleared out the vast majority of those. LA Sheriff's Department, they did have 3 vehicle accident responses, and then that non-vehicle injury, that's the one that was on Encinitas. This is the spread. So generally it was felt throughout the city. We didn't see any hot spots in one area versus the other. So it was really spread out throughout all of Temple City.
Did any of the schools lose power?
Oh,
All of them did. For how long?
Emperor was the longest. That was about 2 days.
Okay.
Emperor.
But you were closed those days, I'm
Yeah,
assuming, right?
and a couple of the most everyone else was down for anywhere from 8 hours to a day, but
Okay.
it was minimal for most of the schools except for Emperor.
One of the locations that we did prioritize was on Longden and Oak.
Yes.
We did have a large oak tree
Yeah.
fall and also pull down power lines. So we worked in conjunction with SoCal Edison to get that resolved that following morning after the wind event. So in terms of our priorities of clearing safe paths, removing of large trees, small trees, and final debris, we've basically cleared all that out from the event on January 7th. Just the scope of the event, these are the various issues that needed to be addressed, and the responses the city had in order to mitigate some of those issues that occurred from the wind event.
By the way, our temporary, our no overnight parking is still relaxed. We haven't put that back in yet. So we'll probably talk about it at the next council meeting, but right now it's still in effect that you can park on the street without getting any tickets.
The city, has a fairly small but robust in work field crews. So we had divided those crews up throughout the city, hit different priorities. And that consisted of our urban forestry division, our park maintenance division, and our public works. We did have support staff from our recreation staff, so the closure of the schools actually aided us in that. So we took those staff that would typically be working stars or the youth sports, and we could reallocate those resources to help with the cleanup. So really it was a team effort by the city. We did partner with CERT. CERT helped identify the different bulky items that they could relay to Athens and help out residents get that cleared out after the event. This past Saturday, we also had strategically placed roll-off bins, so if people had an excess amount of maybe private yard waste or from private trees, they could drop those off at those 4 locations.
Was that used quite a bit?
It was used, not as much as,
you thought?
yeah,
So
I
they
think
they were only there that Saturday, and then they pulled them
Just,
off the streets, I think.
Monday.
Oh, Monday.
So residents could have come
On
out
Sunday and
on
thrown stuff
Sunday
in there?
and
Okay.
thrown them inside,
Right.
yeah. So, but the bulk of the cleanup was done with the staff in Athens, I think, and partnering with we have a landscaping contract, CLS. They also aided with just the debris, the leaves, the palm fronds, and those types of things.
I noticed that we still have some debris on Rosemead Boulevard. Is that?
There,
I know that's a little more challenging because of the bike lanes and.
Rosemead is
everything.
a little bit tougher, and also just because of the London Plains as well with the leaf there. But
I didn't see any big branches or anything blocking anything,
Mhm.
but mostly just debris.
yeah.
We have to get around to at some point.
Yeah.
So.
So,
All right.
just we wanted to highlight the crews. They were really out there,
Is that one of your
working
pictures, Jerry?
Yes.
Yes.
very hard.
Jerry was out there as much as everyone else.
So, but that concludes our presentation. It was, something that we hope we don't have to do, but we do prepare for it. Great leadership in terms of allocating us the resources to be able to address that. We were cognizant of the schools and tried to make sure that we had those areas cleared and open, so when the school district was ready to reopen, the streets and the pathways would be as well. So we can answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Adam or Scott or Jose?
So I noticed there's big piles of debris waste in the bank over here. Is that like somewhere where they're storing it
Is
until
it in
they.
the bank or
In the
or-
parking lot.
Or in the parking lot?
Yeah.
So those are most likely private trees.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing is we've been working with code
No,
enforcement.
it looks like it's been dumped there.
Oh,
so that's why I thought
like
maybe-
an illegal dumping?
No, it looks pretty neat. That's why I thought maybe it was like
Staging it there? or
yeah,
something?
putting it all there so that then it could be removed or.
That location more than likely is a private tree that, so we've seen that in other areas.
Yeah,
where-
it doesn't even look like,
But,
it just
but we
looks like.
didn't
waste.
store any public trees
Oh,
on
you
private
didn't?
property.
It's
Yeah.
not,
No.
it doesn't look like trees, it looks like just, you
Just
know.
debris.
Just
Yeah.
stuff swept
Yeah.
up.
But
Uh-huh.
we'll definitely forward that to code enforcement.
Yeah.
Okay,
We know the property.
or, yeah, I don't know if maybe Athens put it there or.
They would.
Not on
Right.
private,
Okay,
no.
huh, okay.
It's funny, I was commenting in a couple of our council meetings how initially we were told to just get the big branches and those palm fronds and put them on the street and they'll eventually come and pick them up. Well, unfortunately, I had a big pile in front of my house and nobody ever picked it up. And it got to the point where neighbors were bringing theirs and putting it in my pile because they figured, I think, well, they're gonna get it from the
Here's the
mayor's house.
mayor.
Eventually, right, so, but they did finally pick it up. I was giving Brian a hard time, but that was pretty funny, so. Before we leave this, so, was there any issues that you guys experienced that maybe we could have helped on, or?
You know,
I didn't hear too much, because I kept asking Brian, have we heard from the school, what's going on, but other than, I guess, a couple of fences that were kind of blown down,
that was the majority of our
Okay.
damage. I mean, we had, so first off, I want to say the communication with Brian and myself, it was outstanding. We
Good.
were constantly communicating about the, access issues for students, if we were going to open, if we were not. So all of that worked out really well. We had numerous trees that we lost within our yards. And, just like you guys, it was unfortunate because they were just nice, big shade trees
Yeah.
for our students, and it'll take years for us to get that back. We did have some fencing issues. Mostly it was at the high school.
Oh, yeah.
So
Was it tennis courts?
tennis court fencing,
Softball field.
softball field.
Do those
and
fences, they
utility
have
field.
wind
Wind
barriers
screen,
on them, don't
yeah.
they? And that's probably what caught the wind
Yep.
and forced them down.
All but one. There's one that's leaning into a neighbor's property on our softball field.
Mhm.
And so we're, working with insurances
Yeah.
right now and everything else, but, and then we had our power outages, but mostly it was just debris. We had our crews there the next day, they were cleaning things up. The schools that didn't have power, they ended up, it was Oak and Emperor. Oak came on before Emperor did, but,
Well, one of the nice things is that you guys were probably gonna close anyway for a couple of days, so it gave you an opportunity.
well, we played it by ear, like,
Yeah.
it was,
You weren't closed that long, maybe a couple
It
of
was
days?
3
and then
days.
the weekend?
It was
something like that?
3 days,
Yeah.
and it was really just, we played it day by day because we didn't know what was happening, and then every time we thought, yeah, maybe.
You didn't have to do any like
Fire
Zoom
popping up or
classes or
something.
anything like that,
No.
you just kinda waited to get back. Good. All right. Yeah, I think, we dodged a bullet on this one, I mean, it was bad, but, those of us who were here in 2011,
I
it
think
was.
it's because all those poles got replaced.
Well, yeah, I think that had a lot to
That
do
really
with it.
helped, yeah.
But I didn't remember, if you remember 2011, the winds were much stronger for much
Mhm.
longer
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of electricity, but I don't remember any fires. But then somebody reminded me that it had rained a lot prior to that windstorm, and maybe that's what prevented a
There
lot
were a
of
lot
fires.
of power failures.
There were, plenty of power failures.
But no fires.
No fires, I don't
Hotels
remember
or
fires like we
anything,
have now, so.
yeah.
Yeah, but we were fortunate, and like I said, these sometimes are a good thing because it kind of shows us where we have maybe some weaknesses and what we can do to get things better and be prepared for the next one in 5 years. No. I've already been told by my council members that if I'm up for mayor again, they're gonna think twice about passing me over, we'll see. Okay, all right, if there's nothing else on that, we will move on to update on Live Oak Park, and that's one thing. Those of you who have been by Live Oak Park may have seen our shade structures are up on our new playground. And they survived majestically. They
They did.
had no problem. So we know that those are going to be safe moving forward. So So Adam, do you want to take that?
Absolutely. Live Oak Park, it's the second phase of our two-park renovation of the playgrounds. Completed the Temple City Park playground last summer. So the shade structures, if you haven't seen them, it's something that
Looks
you
like
know
Australia.
we were really excited about, and to see them in person is just take it to another level. But these are completely one-off custom shade structures that we work with our landscape architect to design. It was a fully exposed playground before, so it'll provide a lot of shade for that. We have started the installation of the playground equipment, so we're excited to have that continue to move forward. Right now we're looking at a springtime opening, so it's looking like around April or so is when that would be taking place. We are working with our contractor though to, as the school district knows, to try to push them along and see if there is some, time savings and kind of push it forward. Luckily, we haven't really dealt with rain during the winter, which has meant we've had a lot more work days. But that's our anticipated opening date right now. So as we get closer and we actually are able to start publicizing that, we can definitely send that out to the school district.
And we'll let you guys know, and of course you'll be invited to the
Yes.
opening. Yeah, so that'll be fun. Okay, thank you. Sports complex. Drove by there today. It looks like
We're gonna invite you to that too.
Yeah, I hope to be invited to that.
Yeah, we're-
It's funny. I had a client come in the other day, and he was a graduate of Temple City High many years ago, and he was very proud of the football program when he was there. And I said, "Have you seen the new sports complex?" And he said, "Yeah, I've driven by a couple of times." He's very excited to see it finished off. So.
Well, I think a lot of people are excited that the wind took down the screen,
Mhm.
and now they
They
can
can
see
see
it.
it. Although they're not excited about the dust that's coming out of there, but
But
that's another
we
story.
are quickly going to be moving away from that phase, which will be nice.
Good.
So you probably noticed that most.
Did
of
I
the
see
phase-
some artificial turf brought in
So-
yet, or no?
Yeah, it's-
Not laid down, but I
No,
thought I
it's-
saw.
it's back by the
It's
tennis
been
court.
Yeah,
brought
okay,
in,
yeah.
So the base is done on
Right.
the field.
Oh, okay.
We'll be pouring asphalt relatively soon for the track so that we can put the rubberized surface on it. But I would say next week, maybe 2 weeks, you'll start to see structure going up for our field house and our snack bar.
Yeah, exciting.
At least 4 feet of the walls will go up, and then we'll go for inspection again. But our hope is once we have that down, or once we have that in and we have the asphalt down, to invite you guys to come and just kind
No, we'd love to.
of
That'd be
tour
fun.
the.
Are we still
progress.
looking at a before graduation?
We are
date?
still
So we're
looking
still
at
hoping to have
that.
graduation there.
Yes, we are.
Nice.
We were told last night at our meeting that we
Alright,
will still
yeah.
have it.
Still have
And
it.
so we'll have a couple of things. We've talked to them. Obviously, the graduation is the key,
Mhm.
but we do have events up to 2 weeks before. So we're still planning on having senior sunset, senior send-off, Oaks promotion, and then the high school promotion at or graduation at the new field.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, the whole complex itself won't be done by the time
Well, yeah,
graduation
but
is done, but we should be
Enough to have,
in good enough space to
the
have.
bleachers will be up then, I'm assuming?
We'll have at least the home side
Oh,
bleachers
home side,
up.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a
Okay.
chance that the visitor bleachers will still be getting worked on.
Mhm.
But if we can have them both, that would
Not
be
too many
great.
people sit on that side usually anyway. That'd be good.
Well, the home side bleachers are, what we're getting now is going to be larger than what we
What you
had
had
in the
before.
past on both sides.
Perfect. Oh, okay.
So
Should be
we
able-
we'll be okay in that regard. And then just because we were a little unsure of lighting and when that was going to go in, we moved the time for graduation. So normally it's an evening event, but we moved it to 5:30 so that we wouldn't have to worry about lighting.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And so we'll be done before it gets dark.
Yeah, you
So
guys are-
Jerry, that might mess with your pictures, I
Yes.
don't know.
You'll figure it out.
That's
All right.
golden hour. It'll be good.
I know it's not on the agenda, but maybe we could just kind of tie it into this. Doug Sears, how we doing on that?
So
I
saw you
noticed,
driving by there the other
yeah,
day.
I drive by there almost every day coming by, but it's it looks like it's coming together.
It is. So the shade structure is going up.
Yeah, I
in the
saw that.
students
They had
right now.
the frame up. And,
So the frame is up. That should be done hopefully by, I would say probably by Monday they'll be done with everything and cleanup. Then we're gonna do a grind and overlay on the asphalt in the parking lot area, restripe. We're gonna probably try and do that during our President's Weekend, a 3-day weekend, so that the crews can get out there and do that. Once they do that, then we'll put up the wrought iron panels for the fencing, and we should be done with Doug's.
Is there gonna be a fence around the whole thing?
Yes,
Okay.
that'll be done
Is
right
that,
after we do the grind
but
and overlay.
it'll look good though, cause I was
It'll
thinking
be-
the other day, I
it'll
don't
be
want it to
blue
look like
rod.
it's a,
Prison.
like a prison or anything.
But
you know?
we
Cinder blocks.
we purposely went away from a black
Oh, okay.
ornamental and
Mhm.
gray, and we have blue, which matches the trim on
Nice, okay, good.
the building, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll look nice.
Good, good. All right, and then, how's enrollment there? Is it up, down, same, or?
Last night it was packed.
What do you mean?
Well, that was adult school.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
adult
oh,
school,
the
because
adult-
the adult schools
oh,
are there
okay,
too.
'cause they
So,
did
yeah,
adult schools
they
there.
have the adult classes. You know, it's an interesting thing, Tom, because we try not to have a lot of enrollment
Mhm.
at the Doug Sears Learning Center, but if there's a need, then
You
we
have
have
it.
the space for it. But it stays pretty consistent.
Okay, good.
It's a relatively small enrollment, probably about 60 kids that are there, but
Who's the principal there now?
Jessica.
Jessica, okay, that's right, okay. Okay, good. Cool, all right, well, thank you for that. All right, unless there's anything more, we'll not move on to the next item, joint city and district board meeting. So I think we've talked about this before, when and where and how and all that good stuff. Do we want to have one?
Yes, we do.
I think
I
so.
would like to have one while I'm still mayor.
Okay, Tom, make it
Wait,
happen,
you're bad
make it
luck,
happen.
though.
No, I'm only bad luck for the city, not for the school. Okay. And I will be mayor till approximately the end of March. So we have a little bit of time. Is there any particular dates that work better for you guys, or? I think in the past, we've tried to schedule them on a non-council meeting date and a
School board.
school board meeting date, obviously. But that creates another event for you guys to attend to, unless we try to double up,
But we
I don't
only
think-
have, and we only have one meeting in February and one meeting in March, and so we have available a Wednesday that we can use.
Our February meeting is, I believe, the 26th.
Okay, well, maybe, Liz, if I could ask you to maybe coordinate with the school
1,
district
2,
and
3,
see about
4.
getting some dates. And I would imagine we would have it in the evening,
Yeah, when we
what's a-
talked to Brian,
what's a good time?
we were thinking, because I think we're hosting, or we hosting?
Mhm.
Or
You
was it
said
gonna be?
I think we agreed with Brian, we would host it. in
Are you gonna host it
October.
at
Do we have the space? for
Do you have the
everybody?
capacity
Yeah,
to
we
do that?
do.
We
I
just,
think
Or
so.
we do the
we just
media
get
center at the
cozy.
high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, media
Or-
center at the high school
Or we
would
could
be
do the
nice.
media center, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So-
I think that would be nice.
Yeah,
We're gonna
so
do
we-
that
we
again.
So our
could
regular
work that
meeting
out.
is February 26th, and then our March one
Include tour of the
is,
facility improvement.
Yeah.
Right.
February 26th is your meeting?
and our March one is the 12th.
All right, so we don't want to have it on those two
So-
dates. Well, maybe if you could kind of get some communication
We
going.
have a tentative date of February 25th for State of the City.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That keeps it
So-
changing back and forth.
Yes.
Is
I'm
it- what
hoping
day-
for the
what day-
20th.
that's a Tuesday.
Tuesday the
And you guys
20th.
have meetings on Wednesdays, right?
Yeah, ours
Yeah.
would be
Yeah,
the next
okay.
day.
Yeah, we started on a Tuesday, we went to Wednesday, now we're back to Tuesday.
Yes.
So,
Hoping for Tuesday.
we'll send you guys some
25?
advance
Yes.
notice on that. Yeah, we'll get you some notice on that. I'm gonna try to do it a little bit different this year, kind of taking a little cue from you guys, where I want to get more people involved in the state of the city, so that I'm just not up there just talking to everybody. So we're trying to put together some themes and what we're gonna do. Probably have our youth committee do a presentation, depending on what we're gonna be talking about. The new streetscape on Las Tunas, of course, have different people highlight that, so it'll be a little bit more interactive, and I think it'll be more fun for everybody as well, so. But we'll definitely let you know. But we're still trying to keep it to an hour or less, I think. That's just for the speeches, but everything else will,
We try that too.
yeah.
Doesn't always work.
Yeah, I know that. All right. Okay, so we'll get some dates, and hopefully we'll pull that off either in February or early March. All right. March 4th to March 7th, there'll be a spring training day. I'm always looking forward to spring training until last year, until they signed Otani. Now it's so crowded, and it's just not a lot of fun anymore. It's like there's too many people there. And I can imagine this year it's even gonna be worse because of all the people they signed, so.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, with that, we will now move on to item B, discussion for future meetings. I don't know what that means. Is that just like topics you mean? Like, well, I don't know if anybody has any specific topics they want to put on the next agenda, but obviously if you do, we usually send out a memo that, I know you guys probably do too, if you want to add anything before the meeting, we'll do that. So if anything comes up between now and then.
Is there anything on the
Let us
current
know.
agenda that you
Yeah, I
want
think
to?
that-
Yeah, there's a lot of, we're gonna be following up on many of these things, I think. Certainly the update on the sports center, sports complex would be on there. Update on Live Oak Park probably.
Safe routes to school.
Safe route to schools and the
E-bikes.
e-bikes, we'll have some more information on that. Hopefully no more impacts on any events. Yeah, so anything else that comes
And we'll
up?
probably have that joint meeting before, so
The what?
we'll probably end up having that before, the joint meeting.
Oh, you might, we
before
might.
The
we
3
might.
months is up.
And you know, if the preference is to not have a standing committee meeting in lieu of the joint meeting, we're gonna
It's
be
fine.
there.
Yeah.
We could do that and have some of those topics for everybody to share. Because obviously, you guys do the same thing we do. When we go back to our next meeting, I'm gonna report out on all of these things, and we might as well discuss them at the joint meeting too.
Yeah.
All right, so we can always maybe use one of those dates that we were gonna do for the standing committee for our joint meeting. Okay, cool. All right, any unfinished business? I don't see anything on the agenda. Like, anything else maybe be added? Closing comments, questions, by any committee members? Donna, Matt, you guys any closing comments or questions at this time?
Thank you for that presentation, though, 'cause
Sure.
as a resident, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's on our website, isn't it? Yeah, it's on our website also. You can, I think it is.
If not, we can.
Yeah, we'll get it up there, but yeah, you know, I mean, we've got the same issues, you know, they want to get their stuff cleaned up as soon as they can, obviously, and, you know, it does take time, and Athens has been a good partner for us. They've come through. If you went to our city yard, is our city yard still packed, or is it cleaned up a little bit now? It was packed.
There's still a lot of material.
Is there still a lot of materials? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. I mean, you don't get the full breadth of what we actually lost until you actually go to the city yard and see everything that actually was collected just from our city. But
I think at one point there was probably, you could have stacked 8 bins next to each other and
Mhm.
filled them
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah, I would doubt it.
There was a lot of stuff. Okay. All right. Public comments, Jerry? You have
Sure.
anything? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, that's from Lights on Temple City. There's 7 explorers there.
Oh, okay.
So they helped quite
All
a
right,
bit.
well, they're out there.
Yeah,
But maybe we have to utilize them a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah.
We don't have control over that, obviously the sheriff, but we can ask them to see if we can use them a little bit. Yeah.
Then the other thing, I thought it was so interesting in speaking to the contractor last night on the sports complex that whole field is laser leveled within 1/8 of an inch, if you
Wow.
can believe that. I mean, that's amazing.
That is
So
amazing.
I don't know how they do that, but they do it, you know, so.
So there's not gonna be any home field advantage up and down where you know where the slopes are, running down the
The gopher
field or
holes.
anything like that?
There are
It's all
no
gonna
slopes
be
in
Yeah,
that field.
yeah. And then,
Do you have, by the way, you've obviously taken some drone
Yes.
photos of, are they on your website?
yes,
Okay, good.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
The whole thing, including the park also,
Yeah.
Primrose, Live Oak Park. The other thing is, what was it? Trying to remember. I haven't seen any minutes of these meetings since October 26, 2023. And I'm wondering why.
Where do we usually post
They're-
them?
they're-
On the website?
Yeah, but it's not a link. It just says minutes, but it's not underlined as a link. The last one was October
Well, we can
26th.
fix that.
Yeah, so like to find out, you know, if anybody wanted to know what went on at the meetings.
Sure, all right, we'll get that.
And I think my last thing that I want to bring up is regarding probably safe routes to schools and education, whether it's going to be a neighborhood watch or whatever.
Mhm.
But there's a new law that went into effect that some of you have maybe heard about, of cars pulling up to a crosswalk. And that kind of needs to be educated, or
What is the new law on that? They have to
20,
stop now?
20 feet.
No, they can't park within 20, is
Oh,
it 20
20
feet of
20
a
feet.
intersection?
Well, do we, the part, the crosswalk we have at the high school there on Lemon, is it red curb by there? So that people
Even
can't
if
park
it's
there?
not red curb.
I know that if they're
Yeah.
not, they're still not
They
supposed to
don't
park
care.
there. But see, I hate to say it, but it's not always a problem of the law, but people following the law.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We
the
could
problem,
have
yeah.
red curb, we could have everything up there, and people are still gonna try to park there, unfortunately.
Mhm. Yeah.
I hate to sound it, but
it is
we have to start giving some tickets out to these people.
Well, for 4 months, they're gonna warn people supposedly, and then after the 4 months, they're gonna give tickets.
And who's gonna be giving those tickets? The
Well,
sheriff?
sheriffs, they're supposed to.
Yeah, they're the only ones that can.
They have to be there to see it and do
But
it.
it's a safety
It's
issue, I would
not stopping,
imagine.
it's parking,
Parking.
yeah,
Yeah, you can't park within the.
right.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's for vision and.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And whether it's marked or unmarked, the crosswalk.
Hmm, Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it, Mayor.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, we'll talk about that next week at the sheriff's meeting, how's that?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, let's do that, okay. So crosswalk law. And that might be something you might want to talk to them about too, on that. We'll bring it up at the next week's sheriff meeting. Crosswalk law.
You know, and this is kind of going out there a little bit, but I would invite people in the sheriff's department and the city
Mhm.
to go out and just stand there by a crosswalk for the high school.
I think they
And see-
have,
see
because I
what-
know that I don't know how often they do it, but I know we've had these issues not only at the high school, but at Oak and also at,
At all the schools.
all the schools, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like we go from one fire to the next.
And it's every city, it's
Yeah,
not just
no.
Temple City.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll organize a little field trip. I wouldn't mind going out there in the morning and staying there and watching people. And you think, okay, yeah.
We'll take them around the stadium.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
eye-opening.
good idea.
And
I don't
things
mind.
I've seen in the last couple of years
Mhm.
going on, adults and whatnot, traveling on the wrong side.
It's
of the
amazing
street.
what you see when you're walking rather than driving.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really, truly is.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, if that's it, then schedule next meeting date, I guess, that's kind of tentative, because we'll see,
Joint meeting with-
joint-
Why
we'll see
don't
if I'm
we
gonna get a
schedule
joint.
one, just in case we
Yeah,
don't follow
let's-
through on the
Yeah,
joint
let's
meeting?
schedule one, and then if necessary, we can always put in the joint meeting as of that date, I guess, instead of the
Yeah, or
standing
we
committee.
could just cancel
Yeah,
or whatever.
is that okay?
Sure.
All right, okay. All right, so we'll work on some dates for that.
Let's see, February, March. It
and
would
with-
be like the end of April would be our next one.
It would be April 24th. Because
For-
our board meeting's the
For-
23rd, so it would be the day after, right?
April what?
24th.
24th. Are we doing them every
3 months?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I didn't know we were going that long, but I guess we are. Okay. All right. Oh, that's good because it's before graduation. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have my calendar with me, but I'm sure it'll be fine. April 24th.
There's a Sister Cities meeting that evening.
No, that's usually later.
Yeah, it's in the evening.
Yeah. I did get a nice,
I saw that.
nice thought from the
Uh-huh.
mayor of Hawkesbury.
Yeah.
And we did actually get a letter from Wallen County, our other sister
Oh,
city
okay.
too. as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I didn't know this, but I saw an article, I think it was in the Times about, oh, by the way, we're adjourned, so. We, about a lot of things in common between Australia and us as far as fires go.
Mhm.
They have a lot of problems with fires
Yeah.
there too, so,
Steve Terry approached my wife at the gym like 2 days ago
yeah. At the what, at the gym?
the gym
Oh, okay.
about going to Australia with them in July or whatever.
Yeah, I understand they're trying to put together, an adult trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a meeting,
Yeah.
I think it's.
Now, keep in mind
I
that
think it's
July
in-
will be their winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June,
Well,
it's in
it's
June.
right between.
Yeah,
right
it's kind of
between.
on the,
Yeah.
maybe like a spring kind of
I
thing.
Yeah.
think the meeting